Hey Divas, this is SuperZOMGBBQ, and this is a bit of an important video because I was going to release to you the pack opening I did earlier on today, but I found out something from doing that pack opening that's incredibly important for you all to know on WWE SuperCard Season 2, and it's how to pro your cards properly. And I'm joined by someone I've not actually been associated with for some time, for reasons unknown to me but more known to him. It's Val Jinx. How you doing?
Oh, what's going on?
Yeah. So Jinx hasn't been on stream.
I'm back.
Yeah, he's back. He's back, bitch. He hasn't been on videos, and we got him in the stream earlier on, and then he kind of helped me out with something that I almost completely screwed up on. So I thought, hey, I'd get us both in to explain to you all how the proing process works and how to make the most out of your cards, because if you don't do this, there is a risk that you actually will not get the full stats on the cards. So I've got actually an example here. On a screen, I have the rock, and this is a epic rock. Now, I have not done anything with this rock because I wanted to use it purely for the video. Now, you'll notice that it's level 14 at the moment, and as it being level 14, it has got one of 4 little stat boosters, or what are called tokens, and they actually artificially increase the stats in the natural stats your card has. Now, the way that that works is that I've got 2 tokens now, so what I'm going to do is use it on Rock's weakest stat, which is toughness, and I'm also going to use it on his strongest stat, which is charisma. Now, when I get his third one, I'll use it on the ability. Now, be careful with this one, because the ability, especially at the higher end of the cards, such as legendaries and epics, is more likely to set off. Now, if your ability has gone up, but let's just show you as an example, by 10, or if I take away this one here, by 20, that means that you currently then have a People's Elbow that is plus 42, so plus 62 on power and charisma. Now, against a normal person's rock, that means that that person is actually going to be in a lesser position to you, and your card's actually going to be more powerful if it does proc. But I actually found something that was more important, and I'm actually going to let Jinx explain how it works. So I'll fire away, Jinx. You go ahead.
Okay, so let me launch SuperCard really quick. So guys, basically, when you... waiting on network, of course.
This is to do with the matches you play, just to clarify. So, you may notice down the left-hand side of the screen, there's power, toughness, speed, charisma, and then ability in matches. So, this is down to those stats, and this is super important.
Let's see. Improve. Okay, so guys, on the left side of the card, when you click improve, you will see power, toughness, speed, and charisma, and under it, it will say total matches. Now, if you want to get the most out of your pro versions, you want to make sure that you have all total matches played within each stat. That way, when you pro, you get the max stats, because if you pro it, then you're going to miss out on quite a bit of statage that you should be getting within your cards. Same thing with the ability. You want to make sure you get a proc however many times it says on the card. That way you get the max amount of a proc on your card.
Yeah, which means that the points are increased. And that if we look at this now, I mean, if you go up to 20 matches, I mean, for 10 it was something like 7 plus 7 or something like that. But we're talking, when we get into plus 20 matches, you're looking at plus 11 on the stats. And that's the difference between a win and a loss. For the procs, you're looking at plus 15, plus 30. It's a lot more. So just don't go ahead if you're lucky enough, and don't obviously pay no attention to my cards, because you guys are going to actually see the card opening I've got later on for you all. But I think the message, Jinx, is don't go ahead and just pro your cards immediately, because you'll end up with weaker cards.
Yes.
Which obviously is not going to help you, as you are going to then have to retrain cards, and once you've pro'd them, you cannot put them back. So we've got step number 1. I'm going to show you it again. Step number 1 is that you have to have let's say I've got my legendary Triple H. You'll see that on the legendary Triple H where I've got Improve instead of Train, which is on the old SuperCard, you have got 4 stat points. I've put 1 in Power, 2 in Charisma, and 1 in Ability. Okay, which means that my stats for those have gone up. Okay, now you'll notice as well I've played nearly 20 games in every single stat. So to play that, Jinx, how do you actually get that stat point is to show as a match played?
So basically, when a card is played, if you get a match come up that's Power, and you use a card in Power, then that will count as 1 match played toward that stat.
Okay, which obviously then means that you get to 10 and it increases the stat afterwards.
Yes. After 10, you will get a certain amount of points toward that stat, and then after 20. And then, of course, I think on your legendary cards, you actually have to do 30 matches.
Mm-hmm. Which is enticing people to play more, but also enticing people to actually play games instead of just literally getting cards and throwing them straight away. Which is going to extend the longevity of the game because you have to play more games to be able to pro the cards you've got. So just be wary when you're proing cards. The first thing you need to do is make sure you've attached all 4, 3 or 2 if you're in the lower end of the tiers in super rare and ultra rare. However many maximum tokens you've got, make sure they are attached before you pro them. So you've got 2 cards. So let's just say you've got 2 pages. You want to make sure that both pages have got both 3 sets of stats attached to them. When it comes to the and I think I actually got some stat pages here that I could actually show this for. Actually not for that one, but I've got one here. So I know that on my first page I have got let's show you, this is my first page over here. I have got a stat boost or a token on toughness, speed and charisma. Now on the second page I've got, what I'm going to do is put the 3 on charisma, proc and on toughness. So it's a different way of proing the card. I confirm those, permanently spend them, and I cannot change those back. My next job is to play 20 games each. So once you've proed them, once you've leveled them up, once you've gone to, sorry, not pro them, so once you've done the tokens, once you've done the matches, once everything is set and you've done everything possible, at that point you can pro the cards, and then you will have access, and I haven't proed any cards yet just because of that reason. You'll then have access to an additional 3 or 4, whatever it is, tokens, which then means you can then play additional matches afterwards, which then does, as Jinx said, the ability to increase your card stats even further. Possibly one of the most important things in SuperCard at the moment, I'd say. Because if you don't do this, then you are going to end up with cards that you cannot reverse the changes you've just made on them. So yeah, that's basically it. I am going to release a pack opening, which is actually going to be over 4 episodes because we actually might even do it over 3. But yeah, we opened a lot of packs, and it's an awesome episode that you're going to love to watch, which Jinx is actually part of. So I'm going to say thank you to Jinx for providing the help and assistance and actually helping us understand how this works. So thanks, Jinx.
Anytime, man.
And I'm going to sign off now. So all I'd say is be careful, keep leveling your cards how you should do and how you've done in the past, but take these extra things into consideration before proing them. And most importantly, Zolive!
Zolive!
Oh yeah!